Hello, my name is Mary, and this is how I'm documenting my no buy year. The purpose of this video is to do a deep dive into my Surratt powder collection. I'll be creating multiple eye looks with face and eye powders, and hope that sounds interesting to you. Let's jump right in. I do have basically everything done up to the point of eyeshadow. While this is not my general order of putting things together, I thought it would be the easiest way to feature multiple looks using my Surratt powders. Now, the only other Surratt product I have is the face brush, which I adore, and the Autographique liner in the shade 83A, which is a kind of a coffee brown. First look I thought I would do is a very neutral look using predominantly the face powders. I will go in with grisaille in my crease, deepen my outer V with the La Rose du Soir. For the crease, I've been really enjoying my Sonia G Crease 2 brush, and I am just dipping in to that grisaille shade. And I'm just going all over the crease and outer V with grisaille. That's going to also soften the graphic nature of that liquid liner. For some reason, this eye is easier to see on film. So just swirling that up onto the hood and across onto the crease. This is going to be a very light daytime look. Under my lower lashes, I'm going to repeat with the grisaille. Let's go in with a little Haute flat brush into the crease with Rose du Soir. This one is a little more neutral beigey than my other rose blush, which is more pigmented, more rosy, and I may hit that as a final touch. But I'm just going in with that rose in the outer V to give myself some dimension over there. Very much concentrating just in that outer V. Up onto the hood. You could kind of merge that out with your blush, drape that across. That's something I generally do. And then I will take my blush brush, dip into that blush, and apply it on my cheek. This is a little bit peachy of a rose for a barely there look. For my inner corner, I will go in with the chamois, which is just a pale, pinky, creamy ochre. Again, just looking for a little definition. It still gives you quite a nude look. That is it for look number 1. Now, look number 2, I'm just going to go right on top. I thought that would be easier than really trying to wipe anything down. Okay, for this look, I'm going to emphasize all of my chocolatey browns and give it a shimmery top coat right in the middle of the lid. The first shade I'll go in with will be the Haute chocolat, which is this penny-colored bronzy color. Going into the outer corner, over across the crease. Warms things up very quickly. These are very soft powders, so you absolutely want to take the time to tap them off before going onto your lid. I'm going to go all the way across my lid on this to swallow up the chamois and really emphasize that bronzy look. I actually love this as another look right there. I could stop. That makes a lovely all-over eyeshadow. And because it already had the chamois underneath, I feel you get a little dimension at the inner corner. But I'm definitely going to deepen things up. First with the truffe in the outer corner. That is this deep truffle color. Truffle chocolate. We have a theme. Just deepening up the outer third of my lid. Here comes my dog. Now on this one, I will take the truffe underneath my lower lashes, just on the outer third. Still daytime appropriate, I feel. Now perhaps because I have dark, almost black eyes when they're not being blasted by the ring light, I tend to really adore a brown eyeshadow look. So for me, that is absolutely in my wheelhouse. I'm going to take a little of this fascinating shade Vigogne, which is almost a grungy ochre with a slightly deeper shift. And I'm going to blend out my upper edge with that. So dipping in with a Wayne Goss flat shader and just running that over to soften the top edge. I don't know if you can see what that did, so I'm going to come up close and do that same thing over on the other eye. I kind of dig that mustardy, blown out edge. All right, let's give this one a top coat, which is the Vison, this shade right here. Going in just with my finger, tapping that onto the center of my lid. And I will come up close so you can see with and without. Doing the same thing on the other lid. And just to kick it up a notch, I don't usually do this, but I think perhaps it's worth doing. I'm going to go in with the aureole, the highlight color, on a flat shader and just hit the inner corner of both eyes, and maybe right here under the brow bone. That's a step I usually neglect. All right, but I see other people doing it, so there you go. Okay, Wayne Goss airbrush for a little highlight. Finger into the grisaille for a little more intensity on the bridge of my nose. And I'm going to skip the chin because it is my T-zone generally in August in North Carolina, as you can see. All right, I will be doing something with my hair before I go out into the real world, but I just wanted to show you for the lip today. I've been falling back in love with something deep in my collection. This is the Bare Minerals. What do we call this? It's Generation Nude, and the shade, it's a liquid lipstick, and the shade is Swag. It's their matte formula, but my lips are fairly hydrated. I used the Bite Beauty Agave cream this morning, so they're fairly hydrated. And this, I actually enjoy the finish, even though it's a matte. I will insert footage of one additional look that goes a little cooler. But in the meantime, I thought I would read to you some of the characteristics of the Surratt powders. Now, the Surratt Beauty products have been available on Sephora for quite some time. The blushes are $32 a piece. The eyeshadows are $20 per piece. And they also sell 2 sizes of the holder. Now, as far as the packaging, these are not magnetized. The squares just sit in there, and they are not tight enough to be tip proof. So if I went all the way upside down, they would fall out. Just be aware of that. Definitely something you want to keep in mind if you purchase the cases. Other than that, I really enjoy how you can mix and match the color stories. The other thing I really enjoy is about right around Christmas time, the whole Surratt line at Sephora was half off. Let's read about them. The product line was launched by Troy Surratt, who studied with Kevin Aquan. They generally get high marks on Sephora, the eyeshadows. They come in 3 finishes: shimmer, matte, and satin. And this is straight off of the Sephora website. The Artistique eyeshadow refill is designed for use with the Surratt Beauty customizable palette. Achieve a variety of eye effects from a sheer wash of color to rich saturated eye looks. Infused with an exclusive Japanese slurry formula, these shadows can be applied wet or dry. What else you need to know? The customizable palette is sold separately. Individual eyeshadows can be used on their own. Double lock closure prevents spills. Each understated single is petite enough to toss in even the smallest handbag. Surratt Beauty is dedicated to the Japanese tradition of minimal elegance. The space-saving packaging is designed to be lightweight and secure, and it is recyclable. Okay, they are very finely milled. I have never used them wet. It is currently 12:38 in the afternoon, and I will check back in with you with this eye look around dinner time, and we'll talk about the longevity. So I have these mapped out as they are situated in my palettes. Forgive the glasses while I read out the colors. This is Brune Noir. This is Haute Chocolat. This is Chamois. This is Vison. And this cheek color is La Vie en Rose. My face powders, which can also be used on the eye, of course, are Aureole, La Rosee du Soir, and Grisaille. And then I have a small quad. This is the dragee. This is the truffe. Underneath the truffe, we have chamois. And right over here, this interesting shifting color is vigogne. I'd like to try a little more color, so the dragee will be all over my movable lid, concentrating on, with the concentration closer to the crease. I'm also going to go in with this wet. I will be using my Wayne Goss number 20. It's just a round brush. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And wow, it's gorgeous. Now I have hooded eyes, so I need to be careful and not let it drop down right here at the corners. And I don't want it to emphasize any darkness here, so that's probably as far as I'm going to go. For a crease color to bring that up onto my lid and blend out just a bit, I'm going to go in with, Vison has just a shimmer, so I'm going to use this. There is a little bit of powder kick up with that, as you can see when I tap off. And for this, I'm just going to use that to blend up onto my crease. It definitely has a bit of shimmer, so this was perhaps an odd choice, but not for an evening look. I think I'll do all right. To anchor it under the eye, just with my little Real Techniques liner brush, I'm going to go back into the dragee, and just get a little bit right at the outer corner and up. If I don't do that, that place where it overlaps, where my hood overlaps the eye, really catches light and looks strange. I do like that as a very smoky look. I need to really bring some depth to my lash line. So I'm going to take my, again, the same Urban Decay liner and tight line, really smashing it up into the base of my lashes. I really like a brown liner with a purpley lid color. I think that works really nicely. So I am going to go in with the Autographique liquid liner on this eye as well. I feel it's really calling out for more depth at the lash line. Now there is just one thing I would do over here. I could go a little more shaded up on my crease, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do with more of that fey dragee. Same brush, just tapping on and coming up just a tad. I feel that did a little better job lifting this eye just a little bit. These blend beautifully. I wonder if it needs just a little bit of light right there in the middle with more of that vison. So I'm just taking my finger now, picked up a little dot of that and tapped it right above the pupil. Changes the look a little bit. I'm getting good at changing batteries on this camera. More of an evening or just so, I don't even think this is full glam. Honestly, this is not so much full glam evening. I could pull off something like this in my daytime look. I promised to check in and this is it. It is currently 5:09. I've had this eyeshadow on for about 4.5 hours and I have run a few errands today, but I've mostly been hanging around editing this video. Actually, I'm going to close my eyes and zoom way in so you can look at the wear, and I will attempt a split screen with the look right after it was applied and the look as it is 4.5 hours later so you can judge for yourself how it wears. Now, from what I've already seen in a mirror, we definitely have some fading. I honestly feel that it is not the most long-wearing eyeshadow in my collection. It doesn't seem to hold a candle to either the Pat McGrath shades or to the Tom Ford shades, although I certainly haven't put them under this level of scrutiny. Comment in the comment fields with your thoughts. I would love to hear them. My goal is always to keep my videos around 15 minutes. I've gone a little long today, so I'm going to just quickly wrap up. You know the drill. I very much appreciate a like, your subscription, and any comments that you're inspired to leave in the comment field. My next video will be a full face look using some of the Chanel gifts that I received for my birthday. I hope you tune in for that. I'm excited. I will see you then. Ciao.